All right, good morning. Happy first week of September, I guess. Today's topic that I want to cover, this was requested by Nick Griffin, who's sitting right there. You just can't see him. His question was this. He says, how do you stay focused on the finish line even when there's obstacles? So that's today's topic. All right, and so I want to start off by first of all saying that's a great topic. That's literally the very first thing I wrote down was great topic, exclamation point. All right, and so let me ask you a question. So I want you all to think about this. How do you feel about right now and the future? Like inventory, like how do you feel about where you're at right now in the future? Now I'm going to slice that more. How do you feel about right now? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel rich right now? Do you feel successful? Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't cultivate those feelings, you won't get there. And it's tough because you're not there. And we're trained through our experiences growing up, through really just this whole human condition that we experience while we're here on earth, that the way we feel right now has incredible, looking for the word, it's a determining factor on where we're going. And so what am I talking about? Well, we could talk about the reticular activating system. We could talk about law of attraction. We could talk about just kind of what you think about, you bring about. But it's more than thoughts. You have got to figure out a way, first of all, and this is big, this is key, how you feel, not how you think, but how you feel right now determines so much of your future you have no idea. Because the way we feel triggers hormones, and our hormones inside of our head are going to cause thoughts. So like we always say, you gotta, it's a two-way street with thought and feeling. Like you've heard me teach, you've heard probably countless others. You got to act your way into a feeling before you feel your way into acting. All right, that's true. By moving your body, by moving and doing a purpose, by getting on the phone, all that's true. But I'm telling you right now, if you can't start feeling like you're rich, if you can't start feeling like you're successful, I'm not saying thinking like, I said feeling. You've got to feel it. So how do you do that? How do you start to feel it? Meditation is one. That's one that a lot of people miss. You got to do affirmations. What are you reading? Like, because remember, the question was this: how do you feel about right now and your future? I know when you're reading books, like I got this one on my desk. 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 I just know people that read feel better about themselves right now and also where they're going. And so when you feel like you're headed somewhere, that starts a chain reaction in your mind. All right. And so how you feel. And so it's important, like if you ever get it, like I wish people would understand how detrimental feeling depressed is. And I get it. There's people that have medical conditions, and I sympathize with that. I really do. And if you're one of those people, there's medication out there. Go get on it. Because as an adult, I don't care if you have a brain imbalance of chemicals, if your serotonin level is not high enough, fix it. You got a choice. If your breath is bad, brush your teeth. If your serotonin is low, get on some medication. I don't care what it is. But we have a responsibility. We are directly responsible for how we feel. And feeling is a choice. And if you don't start feeling like you're heading in the right direction, if you're not excited about your future, you never will be. Because you have to feel excited before you become excited. All right, you've got to, and I'm not talking about thinking. I'm feeling. And so, so reading books, reading about success principles, reading, even like jumping on conference calls like this. Like I promise you, people that are missing this call right now, they're missing this message, and this message is going to be key. I'm telling you, some of you guys are going to live on it the whole week. Good. I've put some thought into it. I've dedicated 12 years of my life to this business on how to think like this. And I hope to God that what I put down is worth something to somebody, that they can actually use it. But so if you don't leave yourself opportunities to let that in, it's not just letting knowledge in. And this is why association is so darn important. because you want to let the feeling in. You've got to get around people that feel good about right now and the future, which is why you got to go to conference, which is why you got to go to boot camps, which is why you got to go to your hospital. Even when you don't feel like it, you've got to get around people that are swimming in the same direction of life as you are. It's important. All right, so how do you feel about right now? Now, next. Now is just the first little bullet I got. I got so much for y'all. It's not even funny. How clear now? All right, so how do you feel about right now? And again, when I say feel, I mean feel, not think, feel. Like, God, like, when's the last time you put a Rolex watch on? When's the last time that you drove a car that you were dreaming about? When's the last time you rode down a road that had houses on it where you want to live? When's the last time you just put yourself in an environment you felt a little uncomfortable, but it put you around people that were rich? Why is that important? Because it helps you feel a little bit like they do. And I'm telling you, the way you authentically program your mind is getting that feeling inside of you, because thoughts come from all these feelings. Feelings are more base level. They're brainstem. All right, I'm telling you, this is important. All right, listen up. How clear is your vision of the future? Like, how clear is it? It's probably, I think it's probably when we transition from feeling to thinking, because you need both to get rich. You do. How clear is your vision of the future? Do you know what you want? I'll share something with you. Most people don't. But I promise you this, if you don't know where you're going, you're sure to get there. I promise you. Just be idle. Let life throw its stuff at you. You will react. You'll be in reaction mode forever. So you've got to know, first of all, how clear your vision. Like, what do you want? How much time have you spent thinking about it? One of the exercises that we did when Tim Goad was at the cabin teaching us for the Riddle Inner Six, I just got back from, is we had to develop the 5 most important things that we want. We had to do it for our spouses. We had to do it for our teens. We had to think about what we didn't want. And I'll tell you, you think that's easy. Like, most people don't know what the number one thing is. They're going to say something like, I want to be rich. Okay. What does that look like? What do you want? Like, what do you have to give up to get there? Like, what's it mean to you to be rich? How clear is your vision? Like, when you say rich, what does that mean? Is that 100,000? Is that 10,000 in the bank? Is it 100,000 in the bank? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it a million? Is it 5 million? Is it 10 million? Because I promise you this, at one point, you're going to hit your self-worth. When you start asking yourself these questions, because everybody's like, no, rich isn't 10. Rich isn't 50. If I had 100,000 in the bank, I guess that's kind of rich. You will determine where your self-worth is based on how you answer that question. Good. Figure it out. Because I promise you, if I asked Andy Albright if he had 10 million in the bank, would he feel rich? He'd get scared and be like, where's all the money go? Right? Because his self-worth is way up here. But just ask yourself, what does it look like for you? And then write that sucker down. Right? I got some stuff at the end that I think are going to help you a little bit. I already gave you a sneak peek on one of them. But how clear is your vision of the future? What does it look like when you reach your goals? Have you written that out? Have you spoken it? All right. So figure out what you want. Spend some time thinking about it. It took a bunch of high alpha, alpha male females up in a cabin a whole night to figure this crap out. And so if you've never done it, you need to figure out what you want. All right. So once you know what that vision looks like, you've got to set clear goals. And so it's different. Like, what you want is different than the goals. And sometimes people confuse these two. They're not the same thing. What you want is, it's almost like brainstorming. You're going to write it out, draw a picture, get some pictures off the internet, figure out what you want. Now that you have a clear picture, good. You got clarity. Now you can start moving. Once you have clarity, you can start heading towards that direction. Because if you're in a fog and I say, get your butt over here on the radio, and you're like, where do I go? If I could somehow figure out, like, I can put a fan and it starts blowing and you can see the direction that you're going, you can start moving. You can't start moving to your goal and towards your vision of where you want to be until you can see it. You have to see where you're going in order for it to work. All right, so once you understand the direction you're going, now you've got to set some milestones. Now you got to set some goals. So if I cleared a path through a forest and I said, hey, all right, I know you can't, I'm going to shoot a flare up. All right. And so you look around 360 degrees and you see a flare in the air. Now you got a vision of where you're going. How are you going to get there? You're going to start looking at terrain. All right, well, we got some trees over there. There's a river over there according to my map. Let's start going here. What I just did is I set my first goal on my way to my vision. Once you know where you want to go, you can start chopping that into smaller points. That's ways to get there. We call those goals. Keep them simple. So many people, I've coached people for years on this. They'll want to set goals that have like 50 parts to them. I'm like, God, just keep it simple. It's like, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get to that tree over there. You see, it's a huge oak. Next, I think the fastest route is we got to get across that river. All right, what's that look like? We don't have a bridge, so that brings me to the next one. Now, what's my most valuable task? Well, once we get to that tree, we're going to chop it down. We're going to build a bridge out of that tree. Okay, that just became my most valuable task. In order to cross a river, I got to have a tree. I got to have wood. So once you have your vision, you get your simple, clear goals. Inside of each of those goals, you got what's your most valuable task. The challenge is most people, they get bogged down in their tasks that it's like they start tying their shoes and like they get lost in the little tasks instead of only working on the most valuable task. It's like, so what happens if you didn't have your shoes? All right, your feet are going to get cut up, but you'll get to your destination and save your child that needs you, right? Would you care about your shoes then? No. You just got to get moving. But some people, they got a child, and the child represents like your financial wealth, whatever it is that you really want. It represents that to you. But but if it's not clear, like it's one thing to be heading in the direction of it, but you've got to get some emotion and some feeling. So why do you want to get there? What's important? It's like, I just want to get there so I can win this contest. That's not that good. It's like, because I want to make a difference. All right, now we're starting to talk with some heart, because I don't want my kids to have to suffer like I did when I was a kid. That's stronger, because I don't want to leave this earth knowing that I had more to give. I want to make sure that when I get to heaven, I see the version of myself that I was meant to be, instead of getting to hell and seeing the person I could have become. Like, you got to make that vision. You got to make that goal emotional. And then you stop working on stupid stuff like tying your shoes, like changing your laces out. Oh, these are 3-month-old laces. The laces work. Let's go. Right. But so many people want to work on the little tasks that aren't valuable, that they never start the journey, or they get distracted from the finish line, right? So identifying your most valuable task is key. Stop working on crap that doesn't make you money. I'll give you a hint. There's very few things in this business that make you money. A lot of people think there's lots of stuff you have to do. No. If you're the lead producer, you got to sell. You got to recruit. You got to build. Delegate other tasks. Do you got to get your penning? Yeah. If you're good at penning, you enjoy it. That's fantastic. How about selling extra policy and hire somebody to work it for you, though? That would be good. If you can make $300 to $500 from one policy, I guarantee there's somebody in your life that would take that $300 and work the snot out of your pending. So then you get back to what you're good at, your most valuable task. Because the person you hire to do your pending, they probably can't sell like you. They probably aren't going to recruit as good as you. And they dang sure don't know a thing about building, because they're not in this fight, right? And so you've got to have all those things. You got to be authentic. That's it. That's the most important stuff. That's what you got to do. And get really good at those. That anything outside of that, it's not the most valuable task. You've just demoted yourself to start working on smaller tasks. And when that happens, you lose your focus on the finish line at the first obstacle, not just any obstacle, but the first obstacle. All right, this is big. Listen to me. Once you identify your simple, clear goals and your most valuable task, you ready? Don't think. Think when you plan. Don't think when it's time to start. Don't think, take action when it's time to execute. So many people will set out a great plan and they'll have it on their schedule. They'll have a calendar and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to make dials today. I wonder if this is the best time to make dials. You're thinking, stop it. You already had your chance to do that when you're planning. It's go time now. It's time to put on your other uniform, your other cap, and listen to the person that you were, that was in charge 15 minutes ago or last week or on a Sunday when you had coffee and you really were getting real with yourself, because the emotional you is present. This is why I like you guys, like on Sundays, figuring out where the heck you're doing for the week, so you don't have to listen to the crazy voices in your head when it's time to do it. Just listen to yourself when you're in that mode. Every bit of your being is probably going to fight you on it, but it doesn't matter if you're an obedient servant to yourself and to your higher self. So when it's time to move, don't think. And when you hear those voices, ignore them and start moving. Think when you're planning, don't think when you're starting. Give me a second. All right, I'm getting close to wrapping up. The way you stay focused is directly proportional. This is big too. The way you stay focused is directly proportional to how real and honest your goals are, and then how clear they are to you in your mind's eye. I'm going to read that again. It's a lot. The way you stay focused is directly proportional to how honest and real your goals are. Because a lot of people, what's your goal? What should my goal be? 10,000. If that doesn't mean anything to you, it's not your goal. You're trying to achieve a goal for somebody else. So the way you stay focused is directly proportional to how honest and real your goals are to you, then how clear they are in your mind's eye. So it's almost like we have to loop all the way back to the coin. What do you want? And then how are you going to get it? Right? It's everything in this business. So here's a couple things. One of the biggest things is you've almost got to become duplicitous as a person. I talked about this a second. What I mean by that, sometimes you're a planner, sometimes you're a doer. Do not mix those two up. When you're in planning mode, be a great planner. Take your time, think, ask questions. When it's time to go, go. Don't think, right? So how do you stay focused? Reminders. What are reminders? Vision boards for the things that once you've identified them. I think vision boards are critical. I think you need them. I think you need to look at it. Ed Mylett says that you've got to touch your dreams 1,000 times before they come true. I'll tell you what, I go to the bathroom a lot. If I got a vision board in my mirror, I'm going to see that sucker a lot. So I'm just saying you need to be reminded. I think association is a great reminder. It's funny, when I get to conference, I can go home after 10 minutes of being there because I already got what I need. I get so, forgive my French, I get pissed off. I start looking around going, son of a, because I thought I would be further along by this conference than the last one, right? And I get so, like, that association, it's a reminder of the person that I could be. Doesn't mean necessarily who I am right now. I'm a work in progress. And experiences. I think you need experiences. I think you need to go try on watch. I think you need to go drive the car. I think you need to go visit a hotel that you can't afford to stay in yet. I think you need to act like you own the place and walk up in there, but you ain't got no room to go to, but walk around for a minute. I think you need to drive down that road. I think you need to get part of an inner six. I think you need to go somewhere and be with people and experience life at a higher level. This is why the trips are so important. That's why I'm so proud of Deanna, where she's at. She's about to go on a trip with millionaires, several millionaires. And these aren't the average millionaires. These are alliance millionaires. They make $1 million plus a year doing what we do specifically. She's about to surround herself. And she's getting ready to live life at a level I hope that she's never had the privilege to live yet, but she's about to find out what it's like. She's about to find out what it's like to have your bags picked up. You don't have to touch them. She's about to find out what it's like to, like, are you sure you got that? That's important stuff. And they're like, we've got it, man. She's about to find out what it's like to have to put your luggage in a hallway and then not panic about it, because that's what rich people do. Because that's different. That was a different thing for me. I remember the first time we were in Madrid, Spain, and they said, put your luggage out in the hallway. I'm like, who the hell? They're going to steal it. Rich people don't steal crap. All rich people put their luggage out in the hall at night so somebody else can come handle it. That's a rich person thing. So you've got to start living like that. You've got to have experiences that show you what you're made for, what you're capable of. You got to start living small. You have to have small doses, small tastes. And every time you have a taste, it raises your self-worth a little bit more. And you think you're worth more every single time. And that's what I want for you. I want you to know yourself, not the self that you're currently experiencing, but the self that you're becoming, the self that you deserve to be, the self that God designed you to be, because you're worth a lot, like a lot. And I want you guys to have that. And so how do you stay focused? On the finish line, knowing what you want, setting clear goals, working on your valuable tasks. When it comes time to work, don't think, do. Don't think while think while you're planning. Don't think while you're doing. Make sure your goals are real and honest. And then remind yourself constantly through your vision boards, your association with other people that are living at a level you're not yet, and the experiences, trying on the watches, doing the crazy stuff, be corny. That's what rich people all do, corny stuff before they're rich. That's how they get there. All right, guys. I hope this helped. I hope I answered your question, Nick. I love you guys. I'll be in the field this week myself, so I look forward to seeing you all on the leaderboard. We're home, so we want to connect with everybody, talk. It's been a good week for me. I've had a chance to be around Andy Albright a lot this week, and so some of you guys are probably sensing that right now. But yeah, I want the best for you guys. So we had a great August. So it's only September 9th. We got a whole month. Let's crush it this month. We did 77,000 last month. I bet we can do 80. I bet we can. All right, guys. I love you. Domination Squad, if y'all could dial back in 15, we didn't get a chance to talk. We haven't talked for a while. I got some stuff I need to go over with you guys. So anywho, all right. Love you guys. Have a great week. We'll talk to y'all real soon.
Bye.
Later, everybody.